There are so many areas that a mom can worry about, but one of the most common anxiety themes is worrying about your child and your child's health, their wellness, their well-being. Well, what happens if you have received difficult news? Maybe the doctors are curious about a diagnosis during your pregnancy or for your newborn or your infant or your toddler. Or maybe it's something you've been observing. You're really starting to notice that something doesn't seem right and your anxiety is climbing. We're going to talk in today's episode about how to manage the anxiety that you have about baby's health during your pregnancy or as a new mom. Here we go. My name is Kathryn Gardner. I am a mom of two and a therapist that specializes in working with moms and pregnant moms. My videos are for you, trying to reduce that anxiety, control the anxiety, and then find your tranquility, your place of calm and serenity. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at what to do to manage the anxiety that you're having about the baby. How is the baby doing during your pregnancy, right? There are so many unknowns. We're waiting for the next ultrasound. We're waiting for test results to come in. Or maybe you're worried about the newborn stage. There are things that you're observing, things that other moms, other family members are questioning. Is the baby feeding well? Why isn't the baby doing this? Why is this happening? Or maybe at a pediatrician's visit, the doctor has noticed a couple of things that might be flags or warning signs of something more serious going on. All of this is so concerning to mom. Our number one priority is I want my baby healthy and well and comfortable. And so any of that news, again, something a confirmed diagnosis or something we're worried might be happening, right? You're going to hear that might word in a lot of our anxious thinking. What might happen? What might be the diagnosis? What might be the treatment that we need? Those thoughts increase then the way that your body is feeling. Your anxiety, it produces symptoms of all sorts of body sensations. You could have a knot in your stomach. You could have tightness in your chest, right? I think of it like an elephant, like, oh, just stepping on my chest, and I could just feel it when I'm walking around. You could feel tension, feel hot, you feel sweaty, you feel uncomfortable. Those body sensations all are coming from the thoughts that you're having about the anxious situation that you're in. Those can then lead to the way that we're going to act. I may want to avoid calling the pediatrician back. I may not want to talk to that family member that keeps bringing up something that I'm noticing too. Those behaviors then continue the cycle of me being more worried, waking up at night. Is everything okay? Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe you're doubting yourself during the pregnancy. You know, am I eating the right things? Maybe I was doing too much yesterday. Now is we have a newborn. We as a couple, we're trying to figure this out. Or this baby seems different than our other children and we're not sure if we're getting it right. So all of those self-doubts, those are all pieces that we're going to be looking at that fall under the umbrella of anxiety. So if you notice that your theme of anxiety is all around baby's health, you may notice that you do a couple of other behaviors. A lot of scanning and checking. If you're in the pregnancy, first trimester, second trimester, third trimester, right? And I have all those videos on breaking down trimester by trimester. You may notice, well, is this feel right? Why did the doctor ask those questions during the appointment? And you're scanning, you're trying to see, is there danger? Is there signs of a real problem? Or maybe your scanning is showing up when you're home with the baby. You've been changing the baby's diaper and you notice that her legs seem kind of red and blotchy today. Oh, what caused that? What did I touch? What did I touch when I was touching the baby? What did I eat? What was in the formula? what is it that's causing this, right? And we just start to loop on trying to find answers. We're rolling in, what if this is a big, terrible rash? What if this is a sign of really something serious during pregnancy? And most times, we're gonna be jumping to worst case scenario. Oh, our imagination pulls open the worst cases. We think of either examples we've heard or stories we've been through, or if you yourself have had other traumatic incidences during pregnancy or loss, you are certainly scanning for more right now, wondering, is baby's health an indication of something going wrong or something going terribly, terribly wrong? By now, in medicine, we have a lot more ability to scan and test and identify issues earlier on during the pregnancy or for our newborn babies. That testing is helpful to us because the sooner that we know that something's going on, the more quickly that we can find solutions, put the right team of people in place. But the other downside of all this technology and all of this testing is oftentimes the doctor finds something, brings it up to you, but we're not really sure if it's even a problem yet. But it's the mights, it's the what ifs that are staying in your worry wheel. They are looping for you in terrible thoughts of, I want to protect this baby. That's my number one instinct as a mother. And yet something might be wrong. There might be an illness or a deformity. It might be something the baby is going to be challenged with now or into the future for the rest of their lives. And that's overwhelming to picture. If I want to protect this baby and I want to have everything be healthy and comfortable for this little one, and I can't control that. But I'm getting in these test results, or something blurry or fuzzy showed up on an ultrasound, and they said, well, we're going to need additional testing. Or they ran some blood work or that genetic testing in first trimester. We're going to have to do some additional testing. Those are terrible words to hear because our imagination, again, goes to worst case scenario. And that's what I want you to be able to identify for yourself. Am I staying in the facts or am I jumping to some terrible conclusions that nobody's actually said is the diagnosis, nobody's actually said is the conclusion, but I'm already worked up thinking that must be what this is. Again, if you've observed something and you need to call into the doctor's office, I wonder what this is, or I'm doubting if I'm feeding the baby right. Maybe it's something I'm doing in lactation and feeding, and I fear that it's me, I'm the problem. And then we worry about, well, is baby gaining enough weight? Is baby not sleeping well at night because she's so hungry? And all of the doubts and fears that have now already started to put you in a place of thinking that you are the worst mom, that you're doing the worst job possible. And now that self-criticism is showing up. So we're going to be aware, am I doing that to myself? Is that the type of train of thought that I've been having? So take a look at the thoughts that you're having and identify if they could fall into the column of worst case scenario, or what we call in cognitive behavioral therapy, catastrophizing. Are they what if thoughts? What if this might happen? They might tell me this at the next appointment. Those are the types of thoughts that are stirring up all of your anxiety, right? Those are the worst kinds of thoughts. Those are the ones that, give me stomach aches and then wear me down. Because now I'm worked up, ready for the biggest battle of my life, when actually nobody has said that yet. So I want you to stop and be aware. Check in with yourself. Is that what you're stuck on? What ifs and catastrophizing? Because that's important to identify. That isn't what the facts are. That's what you're worrying, right? Anxiety and fear and worry and panic. That's what I talk about all on this channel, is how can you go back and find your place of tranquility and feeling calm and confident as a mom, so that whatever circumstance you're in, you're ready to handle the big decisions that are going to be coming your way. A sensitivity that we have as moms in our audience and our loved ones, our family members, the people we care a lot about, what do they all think? We can also notice that when we're worrying about baby's health and our anxiety is high, we may be noticing they're telling me I'm overreacting. They're telling me I'm making too big of a deal out of this. And is that because they're standing in a perspective that says, stop, what has the medical team and confirmed is what's going on at this point? So that we're not going to the maybes and the possibilities in my imagination, which that's wild. This is about the facts and saying, I can keep my reactions proportionate to the actual news of what's going on. That way I'm not as sensitive when somebody says, oh, you're overreacting. Okay, maybe I do have a strong, passionate, emotional reaction because this is my child. Because this is who I love so dearly and I want to protect them. I want to give them the best chance of a healthy, long life. So that's where you're recognizing, okay, these are signals that I want to get my emotions to be back in check with the facts, with what is really going on right now. Those thoughts, when you are able to put up the stop sign, acknowledge that that's what's been looping for you, you are able to take a step back and do our 3 A's, right? You've seen that in some of my other mom videos. We're looking at, I'm aware of what my worries are. I'm aware of what are the possibilities that can happen. I'm aware of what my situation realistically is, because perhaps I've gotten a confirmation. This is the news. This is for sure what we are up against. But next I want to acknowledge. So I'm awareness, acknowledge, what can I control, what can I not control. So even if I have a confirmed diagnosis of some challenges, whether it is one of the neurodefects, whether it is Down syndrome, whether it is cystic fibrosis, what is one of the trisomy diagnoses, what if my newborn is showing signs of organ failure or an organ that is not correctly developed, I've got limbs that are not correct. These are very real and true battles. So it is making sure that you say, I want to be as calm and confident and not spinning in my anxiety, because I need to be my child's advocate. I need to be the best provider and decision maker and problem solver with our entire team based on what I can control in the situation and what I cannot control. Sit down with that journal notebook and identify, those are 2 separate columns of really the situation at hand. What are the things that you can control? You can start to identify your experts. Who are the people on our team that we want to plug into? Specialists at the top hospitals in your area. What you can control, keep your notebook, measuring the data. How often is this symptom happening with my child? How often did I notice this during my pregnancy? What was the last appointment that happened? I can have a listener or a person be at the appointment to also secondarily hear it and say, we can go back into the car and have that conversation. Like, is that what you heard? Yes, that's what I heard. Okay, is that what they were describing? Yes, because in the emotion, when the emotions get flowing, oh my gosh, we almost don't even hear all of that significant information and directions that we are being given. What I cannot control is that there is a problem. I cannot control that this has occurred. What I cannot control is that other people are going to give lots of opinions. And you may talk to other moms who their child also was diagnosed with that, or worse, they were sort of, maybe kind of diagnosed with something that was sort of similar, a little bit different, and you're like, okay, I don't really need all that advice. And knowing how to accept advice, hear it, but not hold it. Right? Thank you, but I know what we're going to be doing, or I know what our plan is. We appreciate what your support in our life. Here are some other ways that you can help us, or watch our bigger kids while we go to doctor's appointments, or keep us in your prayers. There are what I cannot control, what I can control. I want you to separate that into your journal notebook. And then that's the third A, is action. What is the action that you can take that now puts into place this plan, right? We feel such confidence when we start to get a plan in place. When you sit down with your cardiology team, when you sit down with the obstetrical team and you say, okay, they know what we're going to do. This is what they do all day long. This is their specialty. This does not make them nervous. I want to take and absorb their confidence and their assurance. This is what we can do. These are the steps that we can take. These is the further testing we can do. And you feel like, all right, let's take it small steps and learn what's going on. If it's not something the medical team has observed, but it's something you have started to observe, you say, well, I can take that notebook of my data points, when and how often, the frequency and the intensity, into the doctor's appointment. Here's what I'm seeing. What do you think? Am I on? Am I off? Is it me? Should I change? Is it something that that's just how my child is wired? That's just who they are. Okay, then now I receive that information, I receive that confirmation, and it helps to calm me and manage the anxiety that I am having. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe and ring that bell down below. Give it a thumbs up. Show other moms that you were helped by this video. I put up new videos every Friday, and so when you subscribe, it shows up right in your feed. New topics and information. You can also leave me comments down below. Are there other topics, subjects that you'd like some information on? I'd love to hear from you. Please share down below, what are some other tips that you have used when you're trying to think through the anxiety that you have about baby's health? Share with the other community of moms. We love to get information from each other. We are in motherhood together. My name is Kathryn Gardner. I am a mom of two. I am a certified health coach. I'm a therapist that specializes in working with moms and pregnant moms all through the stress and anxiety of pregnancy and postpartum and the journey of motherhood. So I wanted to take all those titles and all that information to you moms so that we could build this community together and really have a place where you are learning and gaining knowledge, but you're also learning and feeling encouraged about the role that you have as mom. Each video, I give you some mom work, something that you can take from this video and go and work on for yourself. That journal entry. What can I control? What can I not control? Why don't you sit down and write out a bullet point list of what are your facts of the situation you're in right now. What are your facts? As you learn these tools and you put them into place, you're going to see that you can control anxiety and find your tranquility. Today, take care of yourself.